Earlier this year, ACT MP Cameron Luxton lodged a private member's bill to relieve the restrictions on trading on Good Friday and Easter Sunday. The same bill was lodged by former ACT MP Chris Bailey, but that was voted down when drawn from the ballot in 2022. Labor forced its MPs to vote as a bloc instead of allowing them to use their conscience, as has traditionally been the case for bills involving alcohol or religious holidays. Now, a new taxpayers union Curia poll has revealed that an overwhelming majority of New Zealanders think shops should be allowed to open on Good Friday and Easter Sunday if they want to do so. 64% of respondents were in support of giving shops the choice, while 27% were opposed and 9% were unsure. ACT MP Cam Luxton joins me now. G'day, Cam.
G'day, Leah. Lovely to talk to you this evening. Thank you for having me.
No, look, good to have you on the show. Firstly, can I say, as long as I can remember, we have discussed this issue. Not you and me, but I mean, hasn't it just gone around and around and around for so long?
Yep, it has. It's something that's a perennial issue. It comes up every year. People wonder why certain rules in different regions are so different, and why they'd be treated funny and different when they go to a restaurant or hospitality venue, what you can order, what you can't. But I mean, this poll that's come out, it shows that it is a perennial issue for a reason. And the reason is that a majority of New Zealanders want to see this bill in this change for over Easter to make it easier to trade and do business and spend time with your family. So I think the reason it's a perennial issue is that a majority of New Zealanders, no matter what party they vote for, no matter what part of the country they are in, want to see this change.
So you did kind of touch on it, Cam, just then, because it's gotten quite murky, hasn't it? Because, you know, some parts of the country can trade, others can't. I mentioned Queenstown can open, Parnell can open in Auckland, yet other places can't. How did that come about? Do you know?
Yeah, murky is a word for it. It's a bit of a shambles, really, around the country. Yeah, so in 2016, the law was changed to allow different regions to come up with different rules on how they would trade over the restricted days, which are currently Good Friday and Easter Sunday. Right. And it allowed different regions to come up with exemptions. But I mean, it's gotten even more murky and complicated than just where and when you can trade in different regions. These liberalisation schemes in different councils had a 5-year review period. And multiple councils, their review period had run out even before the last Easter, so without anybody even noticing it. It just shows that it's become completely unworkable, and it's just another reason to tidy it up. And you've got restricted days, you've got public holidays, you've got 4 different days over the Easter weekend with 4 different sets of rules, and then that's complicated by different parts of the country. So it's time to tidy it all up. And what my bill would do would be allow people who wish to trade, and also expand worker protections so that, as is currently the rule on Easter Sunday, if you want to refuse to work, you have every right to do so, and you cannot be compelled to work. And my bill would expand that to Good Friday. So Good Friday would be the only public holiday of the year where you can, even if you're rostered on, refuse to work. So this is a win-win for everybody, and it's just it's a big tidy up for the whole situation.
Because that was my next question, because, you know, if staff don't want to work on Good Friday or Easter Sunday, say, but the establishment does want to stay open, how are you going to guarantee that employees are protected? Because, you know, nowadays with, you know, jobs are getting fewer and far between and there's people losing their jobs, you'd be too scared to go, oh, no, I don't want to work that day. Well, I better work because I might lose my job.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've heard people raise that, but currently Easter Sunday has that exemption. So if on Easter Sunday, if you want to refuse to work, the law currently allows you to do that. And there has not been reports of people who are being forced to work. So I think this is just expanding it to another public holiday. But I would give you the counterfactual, which is, you know, some people, they have families go away over Easter. And when they can, and it's one thing to sacrifice family time if you've got 2 or 3 days put together to work, but it's another thing if you're rostered to work on a Saturday, and you usually work a Friday, a Sunday or a Monday, and you have to stay home and only get one day of work, it makes it a bit annoying. So I think if we can allow people to have days in lieu, which this bill would do, to be able to use at a time of the year with their family in a way they see fit, then they'll be able to enjoy time with their family that can be more meaningful. And if they don't want to, if they want to go to work, they're entitled to time and a half, a day in lieu on public holidays. And if they do have the time off, they can enjoy it at another bar, restaurant, shopping in another town, and actually make the most of the facilities that are in that town, rather than the one time they get off, everyone's closed.
Yeah. And would this also put an end to that? You know, I was telling the story of I tried to book a reunion over last Easter weekend, and I was told that, oh, yes, of course you can come in, but you've got to have substantial meal and you've got to be gone in 2 hours. I was like, what? That's right. I forgot that crazy law. Would that be gone?
Yeah, it's exactly the sort of thing that people are sick of. And
so weird.
So that is what would be gone. And people are...
Yeah.
You know, it's not just the customers and people trying to indulge in a bit of revelry that are being held back by that. You know, no one wants to be the waiter, waitress who has to explain to people who are trying to have a good time how they can and can't do that. You know, so no one's really winning from this. And you know, I've talked to hospitality establishments in many parts of the country who just can see the capriciousness on the way this the law is actually enforced in different places. So some enforcement arms are very strong and some aren't, and it's just not fair for everybody. I mean, this is a rule that has past due time to go, and this is the time to do it. And you know, I would also say this is a conscience vote. So the Speaker has said it's a conscience vote, which means every MP can vote according to their beliefs, and that they are not whipped by their party. So this is the best chance we've got to actually deal to this problem, something that's annoyed New Zealanders perennially, and get it right so that we can enjoy Easter the way we see fit.